Okay, for more, let's bring in Corinne Pohlmann, Vice President of Advocacy at the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. Corinne, thanks so much for joining us on CTV News Channel.
Thanks for having me.
So we've been reporting the lackluster job numbers today. If you can detail how the constant flip-flopping on the tariffs is impacting small businesses right now.
Well, it's having a very significant impact, even though tariffs seem to be on one day, off one day, on again the next day. Despite all that, it is having a significant impact already. Many small exporters are already having contracts canceled, or they're not able to get responses from their normal customers as to whether or not they can actually sell to them. From the importing side, there's a lot of anxiety about what is this going to mean for the costs? Am I going to be able to absorb those costs? So there's definitely a real uncertainty and a lot of stress right now among the small business communities. They try to navigate what this means for them and how they're going to respond.
Yeah, it can't be easy to shift gears and suddenly find new suppliers. What are the biggest challenges these businesses are up against?
Well, essentially, if you've been using the same suppliers forever, or if you're of a very niche product that only comes from one supplier in the United States, it could be a super big challenge. And also, when you're a small business, you don't exactly have a big staff to sort of go and search out where it is that they can get those other, like an alternative supplier for that particular product. So it can take some time, for them to look for other ways to do that, or to figure out a way to absorb if it has to come from the United States, that particular product. But they are in a better position on average, in that many of them feel they could potentially find new suppliers. About 50% are saying within about 6 months they should be able to find new suppliers. On the exporting side, though, it's going to take a lot longer to find other customers that they could sell to outside of the United States. So that's where I think a lot of the anxiety is.
Right. And we just heard the government lay out supports to the tune of billions. What do small businesses need right now?
Well, what they need right now is stability, and unfortunately, that's not the case. But when it comes to supports, it'll be interesting to see what it is they can do. A lot of the supports that are being announced today, of course, on the financial side, are more on the export, because they are more directly affected by the changes in the United States government side of the equation. And I think that liquidity will be helpful for them to access. Information is going to be very important, and they talked about the Export Development Canada being there available to try to help businesses navigate to new markets, and I think that's also an important piece of this. And then, of course, for businesses who are going to find themselves in a position where they may have to actually let people go, making the EI work-share program more flexible is actually a really important tool as well. It allows businesses that may not have been eligible for it to maybe use that particular program and maybe temporarily lay people off, but hopefully if they can find new markets or find other customers, be able to bring them back on fairly quickly.
Well, unfortunately, it appears more uncertainty ahead. Corinne Pohlmann, Vice President of Advocacy with the CFIB. Corinne, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.